Hi, so we are on the last topic for the Unit 5, which discuss all about the core. So we are done with the crust, the mantle, and now let's proceed to the attributes of the core. Okay, so the core is the innermost layer of Earth. It is considered as the Earth's center, with a thickness of around 3,500 km extending from Gothenburg discontinuity or the core mantle boundary to the center with a thickness of 3,500 km. So bali daw class ang core since it is the innermost layer of the Earth, then it is considered as the Earth's center. So ang iyang kabag-o naga-extend gikan sa Gothenburg discontinuity or sa boundary between the mantle and the core up until to the center or pinaka-center sa inner core. Earth's core is believed to be formed from sinking, dense, or yung mga mabibigat na iron and nickel metals during the early stage of Earth's formation, an event known as the iron catastrophe. Iron is the primary element in the core, which comprises 85% of the layer. Smaller amounts of nickel, about 5%. So 5% ay yung nickel and then 85% yung iron. Then the other elements ranging from 8 to 10% are also present. So moreover, it is the hottest layer in the Earth's interior. So pinaka-init ang core sa layer sa Earth. However, the exact temperature of this layer is difficult to know. Generally, the temperature of the core ranges from 4,000 degrees Celsius to 6,000 degrees Celsius. There are several reasons why Earth's core is still hot. So most experts class believe that the reason for the tremendous heat present in the core of the Earth was mainly because to the remnant or mga nahabilin na mga heat or na mga kainit derived from the formation of the Earth. So before daw na fully furnished na kung unsa man ang forma ni Earth karon, so at the beginning of the formation daw naa daw to dito jud daw nagsugod or mao jud daw to ang rason nganong continuously nga nagainit pa ang core sa Earth up until this time. On the other hand naman, some scientists explains that the internal heat or yung heat sa loob ng core ng Earth is due to the radioactive decay. So meron daw mga decay or merong radioactive decay na nangyayari which releases considerable amount of heat. Kasi nga, meron ding radioactive elements present on the core of the Earth. So the core of the Earth is divided into two parts. We have here outer core and the inner core. So, di ba, ang outer core mo to siya ang when we are considering the mechanical layers, outer core is in a liquid state. Tapos yung inner core siya naman yung nasa solid state. So the outer core is about 2,300 km thick and has a temperature that range from 4,500 degrees Celsius to 5,500 degrees Celsius. The velocity of the primary wave decreases dramatically as it enters the outer core. Or katugong P waves class, katulibang P waves, mao man to siya ang type of seismic waves na makapenetrate both sa solid and liquid media. Tapos, ang secondary waves or S waves, mo to siya ang for solid media only. So, diriya daw, in this outer core, the velocity or ang kapaspason So, primary wave decreases. So, muanam daw og kahinay si P waves as it reaches the outer core. In addition, secondary waves were terminated. So, si secondary waves, dili na dyan siya kaabot class sa outer core. That's because si secondary waves or S waves, it is only good, or this seismic waves is only good for solid media. Dili siya pwede sa liquid media. So, secondary waves were terminated at the outer core. Since outer core is liquid and the secondary waves can only travel through solid medium. On the other hand, the inner core is a solid ball. Solid siya, class ha, solid. Si outer core ang liquid. Inner core is a solid ball of iron, which has a radius of 1,200 km and its temperature is about 5,000 to 5,200 degrees Celsius. Despite its extremely temperature, the inner core remains to have solid form because of extremely high pressure, which is about 330 to 360 gigapascal. So, the main reason nga nung naga-remain intact or remain solid lang gyapon si inner core was mainly due to the presence of pressure. Grabe ka dako sa pressure nga gina-exert sa inner core, and that makes all the materials on the inner core to become solid. The difference between the states of matter of the inner core and outer core is due to the intense pressure in the inner core that prevents the iron from melting, even though its temperature is way too high. So, even though class mas mainit yung inner core compared sa outer core remains in a liquid state because it has a less pressure compared sa inner core na grabe ang pressure na gina-exert. That is why mahimong solid tong mga silicates and iron. The nickels and iron will form in solid particles. So this extremely high pressure is due to the piling of materials, piling. This extremely high pressure is due to the piling of materials above the core, wherein core is the densest part, which makes it to be positioned at the bottom. So if we rearrange the layers of the Earth class according to its density, of course, we can really generalize that ang pinakabugat among the layers is of course the inner core. So, scientifically speaking, many scientists have proven that inner core contains the densest materials among all the components of the layers of the Earth. So, sa inner core na to makitan ang pinakabugat ng mga materials na dili na to makitan sa ubang layer. Additionally, the velocity of primary wave increased dramatically as it enters the core due to the difference in medium. So, di ba, si P waves or si primary waves, siya naman to makapenetrate sa outer core, no? Since liquid man to siya. Now, kung maabot na gani si primary waves class or si P waves sa inner core, mupaspas na pod ang pag-relay niya sa energy. Kasi nga, P waves travel faster in solid media. Tapos, mo slow down siya when it reaches a liquid medium. And that scenario happens in the outer core and the inner core. So, from the outer core, so if si P waves mo travel from the crust down to the mantle Then, down to the outer core, so mo slow down na siya pinakalit sa outer core kasi nga liquid si outer core eh. Tapos, mupas pa siya balik once it reaches to the surface of inner core. Because inner core has a rigid and solid materials. The boundary between the outer core and the inner core, so meron day gapong boundary class. Abi na kog ang mantle ug ang crust lang ang naay boundary, tapos mantle and core. Meron din palang boundary between outer core and the inner core. And that is the Lehman discontinuity. So it is named after Eng Lehman, who is a woman scientist. Since the outer core is on its liquid form, it separates the inner core from the rest of the Earth's layer. So this allowed the inner core to rotate faster. So balik class, nakaseparate di ay si inner core and outer core. Not totally jud sila nga nagkadugtong, but instead na ay thin shield or thin sheets nga nag-separate between the outer and inner core. So since the outer core is on its liquid form, it separates the inner core from the rest of the Earth's layer. This allows the inner core to rotate faster than Earth's surface, leading to an extra speed rotation every 1,000 years. So bali day class, naga-rotate di ay ang inner core sa Earth. So abi na kog steady ra ganay siya, but instead it is constantly rotating. Okay, so scientists believe that the inner core rotates opposite the direction of the flow of the outer core. Bali class, si outer core and si inner core naga-rotate din na sila. So bali katong liquid state sa outer core, constantly na siya naga-move. Since naga-rotate man sa outer core, same thing also goes for inner core. Naga-rotate po na siya on its direction. Tapos ano daw? The inner core rotates in opposite direction to the flow of the outer core. So bali kung unsay direction ni nga nag-rotate si outer core, i-counter to siya ni inner core. So bali isukwahi si inner core. Iyang gi-counter ang direction kung asa nag-rotate si outer core. Now, so since inner core man rotates opposite in the direction of the flow of the outer core, it creates a geodynamo effect that generates the Earth's magnetic field. Now, Earth's magnetic field class is very important. So dili lang ang magnet nga atong makit-an sa laboratory nga kanang mo-attract o mga metals ang naay magnetic field, but instead our own Earth, our very own planet Earth, has also its own magnetic fields. So the Earth's magnetic field is very important in protecting the Earth from the charged particles emitted by the solar winds. Or yung kanang solar winds class ba nga gikan sa sun, maka-affect man gud na siya sa ato ang signals, sa ato ang interpretations of data, sa atong mga communications, sa atong mga cell sites. And without Earth's electromagnetic fields, bakit electromagnetic? Earth's magnetic field, so maapektahan ang atong way of living. But thankfully, since Earth has this magnetic field, then we can counter these solar winds that are emitted by the sun. So, without Earth's magnetic field, the solar wind will strip off the ozone layer from Earth's atmosphere. So, bali iyang gubon or iyang buslutan ang ozone layer from the Earth's atmosphere. The ozone layer prevents and protects Earth's inhabitants from harmful ultraviolet rays. So, ganito. So, I don't know if you're able to conduct an experiment where you trace the direction of the magnetic fields on a certain magnets, but this is also how magnetic fields look like in our planet. So we have here the magnetic North Pole. Meron din tayong tinatawag na magnetic South Pole. Tapos, the geographic North Pole. Ang kining geographic North Pole, plus mo na siya kanang nasa to ang map. Kanagong di ba na North and South Pole. So, mo na siyang division bale sa magnetic fields. But, actually, there are two divisions of magnetic fields considering as to the type of kanang references nga ginagamit. So, it could either be nga geographic North Pole ang gamiton, and kauban niya si geographic South Pole. Tapos, meron din tayong tinatawag na magnetic North Pole and magnetic South Pole. Kay kini man si geographic North Pole class and geographic South Pole, it mainly talks about the direction. So, north and then sa South Pole. Tapos, kini si magnetic North Pole and magnetic South Pole, sila jud ang naay access sa Earth's, sila jud or sa ila jud gikan. Sila nagsugod, sila po nag-end ang release of Earth's magnetic field. Kaya bari mo nag-serve maguna to as shield ang Earth's magnetic field against the solar flares, the solar winds coming from, or that is emitted by the sun. So, yung anak ka, blissful ang human beings, and yung anak po amazing ang ato ang planet Earth. That is why we should take care of our own planet, because there's no other planet that is greater than planet Earth. So this is the end for my discussion on the last topic of the Unit 5. May you all have a blessed day.